So I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of our shooting program. We're certainly glad to have you with us today. We have a great show for you. We're going to have a special guest on today's program, and I do want to mention, there's a couple of things I want to mention. Our good friend, the judge, has had a mild stroke. Nothing serious. Thankfully, the folks at the hospital were able to get one of those clot busters certainly injected in his system, and thankfully he's going to be okay. But certainly, if you would like to send a card of best wishes or get well, you certainly can do that. To send it to Leroy Scott, 2620 Centenary, Suite 100 in Shreveport, Louisiana. That zip code is 71104, and thankfully it was not serious and will not affect his function, we don't think, at all. So hopefully he'll be on next week's program. We sincerely hope so, and we would certainly wish that you would think of him and in your thoughts and your prayers. But he is doing well. He certainly gave us a scare here a few days ago, but he's doing okay. We're very, very hopeful about that. Also, yours truly has another grandchild. Yeah, I'm grandfather twice now. My oldest son has blessed me with another baby. So now I have two little girls that are my grandchildren, actually. And yeah, I'm trying to think about how this works, but it's great. We're so pleased about that. Anyway, we do have a great show for you today. We're going to begin with our 41 Magnum, and yeah, it's watermelon season here in the South, and we have a volunteer watermelon out here that is going to put on a little display, and let's see what happens when a 41 Magnum bullet of around 210 grains meets a watermelon at about 1,300 feet per second. Let's see what happens. Well, friends, I guess you'd call that sliced, diced, and rapidly expanded watermelon. Let's go on with our program. Well, friends, we're down on the range today, and we have a young lady that has been nice enough to come out here with us today, and she is a gun enthusiast. This is Raven Riley. And Raven, I think there's something you want to say to your mother. Is that right?
Hi, Mom.
Well, we appreciate your efforts today in coming down here. You know, friends, we're always trying to do things. We want to promote the sport of women learning to shoot guns in competition, but also we want to encourage women. You know, Raven, a lot of women now are buying handguns, and they don't have a clue how to use them, but they know the need to be able to protect yourself. Now, you and I were talking on the way out here, and again, I want to thank you. Raven has the convenience store where I buy most of the gas for running around here, and we've talked about this, and I found out the other day that, one, you are a gun enthusiast. You've done some shooting. And let me ask you this, Raven. When did it occur to you that you needed to learn how to shoot a handgun?
Well, I had an instance where I had an overzealous admirer who also wanted to be around quite a bit, and I went through 2 years of this stalker, and basically I went to the police, and I had gone to boyfriends and husbands and things of that nature, and really no one could help me.
Awfully good point. Now, what you had was a stalker who would not quit. Is that right?
That's correct.
And I believe you mentioned something about your home was he shot through your door or something.
He shot through a plate glass window, and it missed me by 3 feet.
Which is way too close for comfort.
Absolutely.
I mean, and you know, you're not the only person who has had this difficulty. And as I've said on the program many times, you know, friends, over the centuries, women have really had a tougher go, certainly than we as men have. People have always had trouble getting along with each other, but unfortunately, women have been the victims much more often than not, from being brutalized, from being people.
Exactly.
And you know what, friends? Now, Raven, for instance, I'm a larger type person than you, and a woman who is going to have to deal with a larger man, you know, just unless you're a karate expert, it's going to be difficult for anybody. And who does the criminal pick on but someone who can't adequately defend themselves, or someone who is smaller in stature than them? But you know what? I can this .357 Magnum, I can put this in Raven's hands, and suddenly the physical size at that point makes no difference. And honestly, and I'm sure you find this. Now, what happened when did your stalker find out that you were armed?
Yes, he did find out I was armed, and he wound up going to California, and inevitably he did get arrested. But it was a lot of red tape. You know, while he was in town, as I said, the police couldn't help me. There was nothing that they could do unless he had already shot me, and I wasn't willing to take that risk.
Well, certainly not. And you shouldn't have. You shouldn't, you know, and that's what we're doing. Now, ladies, pay attention here. We're saying that you don't have to be in fear for your life or someone hurting you.
Right.
You don't have to be, because now, Raven, you had not. Now, you grew up, you're originally from New York.
Right.
Originally.
Right.
And what was the attitude when you grew up about guns?
Pretty much people are terrified of guns in New York, and as well they should be, because most of the people carrying them in New York aren't exactly on the up and up.
Well, good point. You know, in New York, and of course you're from just outside New York City, am I correct?
Right.
In New York, it's one of the hardest places to get a carry permit in the United States. So,
virtually impossible.
All right. So, who are the people carrying guns in New York? Now, there are a few decent people.
Besides the law enforcement people, it's going to be your criminal element.
You hear that? Your criminal element. Isn't that amazing, where you have such severe and stringent gun control? And we're talking somebody who lived there, and certainly you knew it as well as anything.
Right.
The criminals are the ones, they don't care about the law. They're criminals by nature. You know, this ought to compute. Even with the dumbest anti-gun people, and some of them are real dumb, it's the criminal who is going to be armed. And we, as the decent citizen, are going to be the one of trying to obey the law. Guess who's in trouble?
Exactly.
Not the criminal, it's us. Typically, when someone is arrested on a charge of carrying a concealed weapon or against the law or whatever, and they've done something, robbed a bank or held up a store or hurt someone, the gun issue is the first thing plea bargained away. So in effect, the anti-gun provisions in the law don't amount to a hill of beans. Now, what it does, it disarms people like Raven here.
Exactly.
It disarms people like, certainly I don't want to break the law when I go anywhere. I mean, I don't want to be in jail. Now, you get your normal citizen walking down or driving down the road or something, and you're pulled over and they don't allow you to have guns there. Well, hey, you're going to jail. You know, it's a terrible thing. So these are some of the issues that we want to cover. We think this is one of the most important issues that we possibly can talk about, because there is, you know, in our Constitution it says we should be free to pursue our happiness, pursue our dreams and all. And you know, you can't pursue them nearly as well if you're afraid for your life, if you're afraid of what's going to happen to you, or someone may hurt you or rob you. And yes, indeed. Now, Raven, you've actually done some shooting with revolvers and with semi-automatics.
Right.
And tell us a little bit about that. Now, you were shooting with a club in Dallas, is that right?
That's correct. My husband was a gun enthusiast, and at the time I had met him was after my stalking. Mm-hmm. And after the bullet had come through the plate glass window, he had decided that there was just no way, that I needed to have some form of empowerment. And he put a gun in my hand, and of course at the first chance I got, I mean, I didn't do very well. But with a little bit of practice, I actually became pretty good. Mm-hmm.
And what else? Now, you said that a lot of the wives and girlfriends of the shooters out there were around.
Sure. I would go out there just like every other female that would go out there on Saturdays to watch the boyfriend.
Wait for your husband
right, to watch them and just be some form of support. And I kind of got bored with it. And finally, when I started shooting, I rallied with the women.
Sorry, go ahead. Don't let me interrupt. You just got a wasp flying around.
And I just got them together and said, hey, we don't have to be standing around. This is something that's really fun. And yeah, it's a little bit frightening at first, but you can get over that. And before you know it, Dallas Pistol Club had themselves a little women's team, and we did rather well.
Well, and I'm really glad to hear that. And certainly, of course, the thing is, the good news is they were shooting around people that were familiar with guns, because, friends, we always shoot with eye protection. And I tell you what, if those ladies out there, if your husband or boyfriend has taken you out, or brother has taken you out and say, and they hand you a .357 Magnum and say, go ahead and touch it off, darling. Let me tell you what, if it hurts there, and women typically have more sensitive ears than men do, and if it hurts your ears or hurts your hand when it goes off, what have you done? One, you as a man have done something stupid, and two, you have probably lost the woman for the rest of her life. She's going to be prejudiced against guns. So we don't want to go out and hurt our eyes or any other part of our bodies. That's part of what this is about. So please, if you know, there's plenty of other dumb stuff that you as a man can do other than to take your girlfriend, wife, or whoever out and give them a high-powered handgun without hearing protection or without any knowledge of it. It's not funny. It is not funny. And let me tell you what, you pull this and you will find out right quick from the lady that it wasn't funny at all. And what you've done, you have lost us a vote. You have lost us someone who might have been an enthusiastic shooter. You know, Raven, what I see, so many women, and I don't mind if someone says, I'm afraid of guns, they don't know much about guns, I'm afraid of guns. I don't mind that. I don't have a problem with that. Because if they're afraid of the mechanism, they're not going to come out here and act stupid and start waving it around. They're not going to touch it. They're less likely.
They'll have a healthy respect.
That's right. And then when you teach them how, honestly, when we have women, new shooters out for the first time here, what we invariably get is, you know, that was fun. There's something to that, you know?
Exactly.
That's really fun. And it's true, friends. And let me tell you what, as I have said dozens and will continue to say, right now we are losing our battle to own firearms in this country. If you think that paying the NRA their contributions is going to fix it, trust me, it's not. That's not enough. If you think just because we have an amendment to the Constitution, we have people in government now that break the law all the time and don't care because, you know what, they can get away with it. Right now we are losing this battle. We have got to get these women involved. We have got to familiarize them with what this is about. There's one way to do it, get them out shooting. Certainly you can have them watch our shooting show, but what you need to do is let's get the women out. Because honestly, you didn't know, did you?
No, I didn't.
Until you got started.
I was terrified.
Now let me ask you this, Raven. When you learned to shoot the gun and you had the handgun, and you've been afraid of your stalker, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, someone says they're going to hurt you or kill you.
Absolutely.
And if they're crazy enough to say that, you better believe me, they may be crazy enough to do it.
Right.
And you were afraid. I mean, you were afraid for your life.
Well, sure.
And when you went home at night, you opened your door, I mean, you were nervous walking in, huh?
Absolutely. I was being watched 24/7. I would have pizzas delivered to the door. I mean, taxi cabs. He set up an account with one of the major overnight companies, and they would send a package to my house every morning at 7:30.
Now, see, friends, and she's not the only one out there this has happened to.
And this is actually before they had stalking laws.
Before, yeah.
So,
and there wasn't a doggone thing the police could do about it. Only until this man had actually made an attempt, and if you had survived the attempt, then the police could come around and investigate. And what do you think the odds are they're going to catch somebody?
Well, even if they did catch somebody, you're looking at a plea bargain situation,
That's right. Possible
manslaughter, maybe a lesser charge. Definitely not what I would want to see.
All right. And if they had caught him after you had been attacked, what about her? What about the woman? What about your rights? You know, what if he had AIDS or something? What if he had
been paralyzed?
That's right. What if you'd have been killed? What if you'd have been horribly injured?
Right.
And we read these things happen, friends. So there wasn't a doggone thing police could do about it. How did you feel once you got your handgun?
Well, it wasn't a matter of feeling like a little Rambette. I wasn't running around the hills, you know, doing my Rambo theme.
So you mean owning the gun did not change you into a wild-eyed crazy?
Absolutely not. It was, like I said, a form of empowerment. You feel a lot more confident. It kind of evens the odds.
Exactly. And that's what this is about. Well, ma'am, would you like to do a little shooting this afternoon? We're here. Just for fun?
I sure would. Let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Stay tuned for more of The Shootin' Show after these important messages. Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. You know, friends, all of us as shooting enthusiasts should be subscribing to Shotgun News, the trading post for anything that shoots. 3 big issues monthly with literally thousands and thousands of firearms bargains. Give them a call, 1-800-345-6923, a very inexpensive subscription price. Again, 1-800-345-6923. Subscribe today.
Friends, here it is, the great Georgia Arms ammunition. Notice these ballistic tip nodular bullets in this Georgia Arms ammunition. You see, this is equivalent to a box of 20 for only $7.95. Now, friends, that is a terrific price for essentially custom-loaded ammunition. Of course, for the plain full metal jacket, it is much less expensive. Here's another tremendous bag of Georgia Arms ammunition, 7mm Remington Magnum, 20 rounds, only $17.95, loaded with these premium Nosler ballistic tips. I tell you, this is custom ammunition at a discount price. Tell you what, friends, the good people at Georgia Arms do understand what's going on in this country. They understand how important our gun rights are, and they're supporting us on this project. The good news is you can get absolutely superior ammunition at discount prices, whether you have a handgun or a rifle. If you want to take that big hunt, you can afford to practice with your rifle as well as use that same ammunition on the hunt because they are so reasonably priced. These are some of the nicest people we have ever met in this business, bar none, and they're down in beautiful Villa Rica, Georgia. So please, friends, if you would, you can get a free catalog with a free phone call. That's as good as the deal gets. A free catalog, free phone call, 1-800-624-6861. Again, Georgia Arms, 1-800-624-6861. And please tell them you saw it here on our shooting show. And friends, you may hear some thunder. You mentioned a moment ago, hey, we've got a thunderhead back over here. Now, if it comes a little closer this way and the lightning, well, that's all right. We'll do this another day. But we're going to run as long as we can, certainly. Now, Raven, here the point is, and of course, Raven manages a convenience store. And this is a good drill for anyone in business. And certainly for you as a woman in being able to protect yourself, and for that matter, against a possible attacker. Now, you're aware, now friends, a lot of people don't realize this, but somebody who's saying ugly things out at 25 yards, they run their mouth, but they're not a threat. But somebody this close who may make a move towards you or maybe armed, this is a real threat, whether it's with a knife or a gun. And you probably already know this because I'm sure you've had a training class, well, I hope you have for your company, But let me tell you what, friends, a knife at close range is very, very dangerous, because many times someone who has a knife can be on you so quickly, and you've got to know how to react quickly. Now, Raven, the good news is you have handled a gun before. So what I'm going to do, we've got our timer here today, and the timer will start automatically. I'll go ahead and punch it, or in fact I could start it for you, and I'm going to let you hold the gun down at your side. And friends, I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with Raven's ability. This is a .357 Magnum. We're shooting some 110 grain ammunition, but it's still pretty severe, and she can handle this out of this Ruger GP100. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the gun. There you go. You are left-handed. I'm going to get behind you over here, stand back, and we're going to hold the gun down and say, yes, like so. And I want you to bring the gun up, put a shot here in the circle as rapidly as possible, and let's see how long this takes. So let me get over here out of the way. And there are some special considerations for you ladies we'll be talking about in just a moment. But Raven, all right, you're left-handed, and let's do this. Let's say that maybe you have your store, your money in your right hand. So let's do it one-handed. Let's point the gun and shoot. As a little lightning, but it's still. I don't know if you saw that. It had a little lightning, but it's still over there. So anyway, I want you to raise the gun and shoot it as fast as possible when you hear the timer into our circle. So. Yeah, putting on quite a show. Okay, shooter ready? Stand by. On the signal. Stand by. Well, now,
One-handed is pretty tough.
That's true. And of course, Raven, I'm impressed. A full charge .357 Magnum, one-handed. I thought you were going to shoot once. That's okay. And your time was good. Your first shot was about 1.5 seconds. Not a bad time.
Oh, good.
Not a bad time. And
Not
plus, one-handed with a full charge .357, you got 3 good hits here, and actually the other 2 would have been serious hits.
Right.
So actually, that's excellent.
Thanks.
No kidding. That is excellent. You see, you ladies can do it. And typically you shoot two-handed, you shoot a semi-automatic two-handed, but that is excellent. Now see, this shooting this well, you could very easily, trust me,
Incapacitate.
someone trying to hurt you is going to have other things on his mind. If he's still standing after the first shot, he's going to be trying to get away. He's in real problems. But that is excellent. Now, we want to work just a little bit while we still have time, while our Thunderhead's still out of range here. We want to show a little bit. Of course, Raven has shot. In fact, you told me you've been shooting a Wilson 1911, which is, of course, from our good friend and sponsor Bill Wilson and Wilson's Combat up there.
Which I personally want to thank.
Yeah, because they're really super guns. But we have an unloaded 1911. All right, we have a cocked unloaded. We know. I check them 3 times. We know this gun's empty. Now then, Raven, go ahead and take it in your left hand. Now then. Now friends, she's left-handed. Notice she's standing with her right foot out a little bit like so. And go ahead, and the point is here, the reason she's standing with one foot forward with shoulders bent a little bit like this is to aid in recoil. When the gun recoils, it will help her, and she has leverage. Notice the right arm is bent, the left arm is pretty straight, and you have, and of course she's holding the gun now. If she was shooting, her offhand would be a little bit further in front like this, and this gives you that push-pull type situation. It helps you recover from recoil. So go ahead and pull your trigger there, baby. And see, she's looking right down. She can see the sights well. She has a good and proper grip, and the gun's not going to go anywhere when she shoots it. Well, we've got a target over here, ma'am. Let's go ahead and load your 1911. Yes, well, we actually need a range, just not right this minute. All right, ma'am. Go ahead. David, I tell you, I'd like to thank you for taking time and coming out to be with us today. A lot of the women, that's the whole point, is seeing you handle a gun, and you've done really well. They say, the woman's going to say there at home, say, I can do that.
Absolutely.
And you know what? You'd be right. You can do it. You ladies can do it.
Sure can.
Well, before the rain starts, you're pretty good with this 357. You want to shoot a watermelon? And
Let's do it.
all right. Hit it. Now, friends, what you're looking at is the great shot stop target system. You've seen these a lot on our program, and we really do appreciate their support. We got this set well over a year ago, and trust me on this one, we have shot these things and shot them. The larger ones here, the thicker ones on the end, are for the 45 and 44. The ones in the center that we have placed, of course, you can get a complete set of any size targets you want. These are for the 9mm, 38s, 357s. And these smaller ones are for the 22 long rifle. And like I said, the quality is really beyond question on these, because we have shot them, had guests down here and shot them, and they're still as good as new. What you'll do, of course, when you shoot the paint off there, go to your discount house and just get a little extra paint here and spray a little paint, and see they're just as good as new to be shot again. So you can see, of course, you can see your targets. I tell you, they have a brochure that describes their entire product lineup, and some of the things they're making now, they're making cowboy action shooting targets, they're making rifle type targets, all kinds of neat things. I didn't have the idea of their product line, and of course they're growing rapidly. I didn't know their product line had expanded so much. Of course, the beauty part is you shoot one of these and the target, of course, behind it pops up. So it saves a lot of walking at the range, and you can go and shoot and shoot and shoot until your heart's content. This is a tremendous idea. These are tremendous products. So what you need to do is give the Shot Stop Target System Company a call. They have an 800 number. They have free information, free call, 1-800-444-2038. Again, 1-800-444-2038. And we do appreciate, please tell them that you saw it here on our program. This is a great idea, a great addition for any shooting range.
Stay tuned for more of The Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. Friends, here it is. This is the great 1919 Browning converted to semi-automatic from the good people at NWI. This is your chance to own a real piece of history. They're very collectible. They're also a lot of fun to own and shoot, and very reasonably priced, certainly for what you get. The 1919 Browning is from NWI. That phone number, area 503-429-5001. They also have the ammunition special still going on. 30-06 ammunition, only 18 cents a round, surplus in the belt. So give them a call today, NWI, for the great 1919 Browning conversion. Also remember, they have the A6 conversion with the shoulder stock and the bipod. But these are tremendous pieces of history, also great shooters. So give them a call today, the 1919 Browning from NWI, area 503-429-5001.
And with a little late breaking news here again, friends, NWI is now offering the 50 Browning version of this same gun, except it's just a lot bigger. They also have some terrific ammunition prices. Those of you who have priced 50 Browning cartridges in the past know they're pretty expensive, and NWI is going to make a special deal available to owners of their 50 machine guns that have been converted to semi-automatic. This is a really exciting development. I know a lot of us would like to have these guns. They will not be available forever. Trust me on this one. So give NWI a call today, area 503-429-5001. Remember, for every one of these guns that Tim sells on the program, he will donate an extra $300 toward our project. So please, friends, give him a call today.
Now, friends, we have a lot of things to cover on today's program, but there are some very, very important things. First of all, let me mention what a wonderful product this pyruvate is. Now, this is something that we're selling through the program here. It is a terrific company, and honestly, friends, it has made such a difference in me. And yes, I know I've still got work to do. I've still got a ways to go, but let's go back. I think we have some tape in the studio, and let's take a look at me about 4 years ago. So, yes, indeed, I was just a little heavier. And what happened, we found a wonderful mineral and nutrition program, and I lost quite a bit of weight. As you can tell, I think I look just a little different. And take my gun belt off. I look a little different than I did 4 years ago. So see, even when you're in your 40s, you still can improve your physical condition, because I improved mine a bunch. You can feel better. You have so much more energy. You can get so much more done. Your quality of life will be better. Now then, let's take a look at me, if we can find the tape. Take a look at me back when we had our Fun Gun Weekend at Clark's over here. This was in the middle of May. All right, let's get that side shot if we can. And yes, and of course, since then, our good friends with the American Freedom Network got me started on Pyruvate Plus. Now, this is available from the New Vision Company. And now then, let me just a little side shot today. All right, now I'm taping this just after lunch. Yeah, I just finished eating, and you still get to eat. See, you still get to enjoy your meals and all. So look, now this is a dramatic difference. And yes, I am still working, but I'm down about 3 inches here in my spare tire, in my in my midsection here, which you know, a lot of you out there certainly that have, those of us that have weight problems, you'll understand this. So I would say this is a pretty dramatic improvement from where I was just a couple of months ago. You don't have to change the way you eat, certainly unless you want to. You don't have to dramatically change your exercise program. It'll certainly help. But this is a very powerful antioxidant, so it's really good for you. It doesn't have any side effects. They've been working with this stuff for 27 years, and now, of course, we find out that one of these prescription drugs that doctors have been prescribing for weight loss, some of these are actually dangerous to your health. Pyruvate here will make you feel better. Remember when we did the Rowlands shoot up in Rowlands Celebrity Shoot up in Evansville? Remember the guy from American Gladiators that we showed here on the program? Turns out that he uses this stuff in his weight training. In fact, as I understand, he's even a distributor. So I tell you, and of course, he's a picture of health. Absolutely, a tremendous, a former Mr. America, and besides being a nice fella. So he is certainly a great example of just what this stuff can do. You can call me on my voicemail because it answers 24 hours. And what we're doing, now we're a couple of days behind in phone calls, but what we're doing, we will call you back. Myself or someone who's working with us will call you back. Call my voicemail. Please leave your name and your phone number. Please give us your area code, and we'll get back to you within a very short time and talk to you about these wonderful products. Other things that the New Vision company has, and we talked about, I lost a lot of weight by getting on a proper nutritional program. They have colloidal minerals, they have vitamin C with coenzyme Q10. They have a wonderful product lineup, and honestly, friends, the greatest gift you can have is good health. And if you want to improve the way you feel, you want to improve your energy level, and we need every decent citizen out there healthy that's possible. We need every last one of you. So give me a call on my voicemail. That number is area 318-682-4218. Again, my voicemail, area 318-682-4218. And you can trust me on this one. This stuff works because, you know, I got down to that last 20 pounds or so and it just stuck. So, but now it's going. It is going away. I tell you, I haven't been able to wear these pants in a long time, but they are certainly comfortable today. So that's one thing we wanted to share with you. Okay, we have some other things that we need to talk about. I talked to the judge this morning. He is doing much, much better. We anticipate and are hopeful that he will be back on the program next week. We're certainly hopeful about that. And if you'd like to send him a card, I'll go over his address with you. Leroy Scott, 2620 Centenary and Suite 100, 2620 Centenary Boulevard, Suite 100, Shreveport, Louisiana. The zip code is 71104. If you'd like to send him a card, I know he would appreciate it. Something that came in the mail the other day from our local Gun Collectors Association. This is from Lee Estabrook, and this came from the number 3, 1997 Man-at-Arms issue. And it says, according to a news release received by their office, a team from the U.S. Army Material Command has been dispatched to the Chief of Military History's storage area at Anniston Army Depot in Anniston, Alabama. Their mission is to cut the Army's historic weapons collection by 90%. Now, over the years, the Army has assembled a collection of about 18,000 firearms that were set aside to be preserved for their historical importance as national treasures. This collection includes everything from model 1795 muskets down to the only known group of M16s documented to have been used in Vietnam. The discarded weapons are to be destroyed by the famous Captain Crunch machines. Hey friends, they're going to cut them up. The government is going to destroy most of the historic arms collection that the Army has. What in the world? This is insane. They're going to literally destroy some of these guns as collectibles are priceless. Absolutely. So what you need to do, you need to call the Secretary of the Army, Togo West, at the Pentagon. This number is area 703-545-6700. Again, write this down, area 703-545-6700, and let him know how you feel. Also, your representatives and senators need to know this. Hey friends, the government's gone crazy. Literally, they want to take away everything from us and take it out of our history. They want to take away anything that even resembles a firearm that we as the public might see or might be of value to us as a collectible or what. And you know, I say this, let me put in a word for a couple of our sponsors. You know, the good people at Georgia Arms, friends, and everybody I've talked to has said that has shot some of this Georgia Arms ammunition, and no, this is not a paid commercial, this is just the truth, have said that their accuracy and performance is superior. It is also at discount prices. Now, friends, our good friends, Curtis and Larry down there, understand, their whole group understands the jeopardy that our firearms ownership is in. Right now, I keep saying it, we are losing the battle for private gun ownership in this country. And if you want to buy ammunition, they have it at discount prices. If you want to put some stuff back, because let me tell you what, friends, unless something changes, you don't have to worry about guns or ammunition. It will not be available. If you want some, don't put it off. You ought to go ahead and get it. So look for the Georgia Arms commercial in our program. Look for their phone number there. You get a free catalog and with a free phone call there. And just like our good friend Tim with NWI with the 1919 Browning, these guns are in the minds of some of these bureaucrats and the anti-gun people. They just have a fit when they see something like a tripod-mounted 1919 Browning that a lot of us would like to own and enjoy shooting. Tremendous collectibles, great fun guns. So please, friends, just like on Tim's guns, right now they've got the 50 caliber that they have started manufacturing. Don't put it off. Give them a call if you want anything like this, because as it stands now, due to just like this draft for national firearms registration that we got in the other day that goes into asking what religion or do you belong to? What's your political affiliation? You know, how much ammunition do you keep in your home? Where do you store guns in your home? And send a diagram. Send fingerprints, huh? How about that? Send your fingerprints. And down here it says whether your home inspection is completed. Now wait a minute, friends. This is ridiculous. This is not what the founding fathers had in mind. What are we going to do about it? Excuse me. Get upset thinking about it. We have got to call our representatives. We have got to get in touch with our senators and representatives. And you know what? We've got to stand up locally. When an anti-gun piece appears in your paper, write the paper a letter and tell them you really don't appreciate it, because you know what? The anti-gun people do not represent the vast majority of the population in this country. Now, something else you can do. Most of you know what a struggle it has been to keep this shooting show on the air. We still need your help. The only shot we have got as gun owners is to get more people on our side. How do we do that? We can't do it through the gun magazines, because only enthusiasts buy gun magazines. You know, you can't do it there through the standard way that the gun industry has always worked. Can't do it like that. It has got to be done on television. Certainly radio is helpful, but television is the mass appeal way to get out and reach more people. With your help, we can buy more time. We cannot afford to do it now. We've got to stabilize our project. And friends, this is the only chance we've got as gun owners, is to get more people on our side. Explain to them that these are not toys. They're not evil things. They're just machines that our founding fathers understood the importance of in civilian hands. Now then, what are we going to do about it? You know, the silent majority excels at being silent. Well, guess what, friends? A lot of us here are not ready to buckle under to what somebody in Washington or somebody at a state level who doesn't know us, doesn't care about us, doesn't think we ought to have firearms to be able to protect ourselves with. What are we going to do? All of you who are watching, most of you who are watching, will not contribute 10 cents toward our project. But some of you have, and we're here today in part because some of you have contributed. Hey, friends, I'm not ready to give up. Are you? Are you literally going to let our free country, to let the heritage that we have of gun ownership, are we going to let it go? You know, are you ready to do that? Are you ready to disarm your home and literally let a gang of vandals, or even worse, a police state, literally have control over every one of us? I'm not ready. Please, if you will, please stand with us. We need your help. We need your support. Anything you can send to this project to help us reach more Americans, to help us stay on the air. You can send whatever to the shooting show. $5, $50, $500, $5,000, whatever you can spare. Send to the shooting show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Dubberly, Louisiana. That zip code is 71024. Our phone numbers, area 318-377-5189. If you want to talk about advertising, call Bobby, area 903 693-5097. And honestly, friends, so many people, unfortunately, in our own gun industry don't have a clue. People that make these things, I don't know. I cannot imagine what they're thinking, if they're thinking at all. Because let me tell you, if we don't reach more people on television, and our program can do it, on television, as far as this message and getting the truth out about gun ownership, this is the only game in town. I wish there were other shows that could tell the truth, but right now this is it. And you can help us expand. We've already been approached by an important network, but we can't afford to get on right now. They'll sell us time if we can just afford to get on. Will you help us? Will you stand with us? Because doggone it, I'm not ready to give up. And I don't think most of you are either. But it's going to take somebody sitting down and writing a check, literally, to help us stay on the air. We've got to do it, friends. We have to. We owe it to ourselves, we owe it to our forefathers, and we darn sure owe it to our children to preserve the way of life that we have been blessed with. Will you stand with us? Please, whatever contribution you can send to the Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road, Beverly, Louisiana, zip code 71024. Please, friends, you know, this is not the practice, this is not the rehearsal, this is the title match, and we're all in it right now. What are you going to do? Please stand with us.
Stay tuned for more of The Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. Friends, of course, y'all recognize me, but my sidekick here is none other than the famous Lonesome Bob himself.
I thought you was my sidekick. I'm sorry. I had it all wrong all along.
I ain't gonna be no tonto, you know what I'm saying? Okay.
I beg your pardon. Do I look into you?
That's double two Rangers here. Well, friends, anyway, this is Lonesome Bob, and he is at least half of the Johnny Ray and Lonesome Bob Very Fine radio show.
At least half.
Which we will be starting on August 2nd. We're making an effort here to help
When we're going to be stopping?
We're going to stop after the 2 hours. We're going to start at 4 o'clock Eastern on August 2nd. We're going to run until 6 o'clock. A 2 hour.
A man needs to know that, you know.
On the Worldwide Freedom Network, which is available to you on GE1 Channel 7, 7.56.
Anarchistic, don't it?
7.56 audio. I got to tell them where we're going to be. They got to know where to find us.
Do that because I don't remember nothing.
7.56 audio.
Okay.
That's where we're going to be.
I can't remember all this.
We're free to radio stations everywhere. Free to radio stations everywhere. They can make money on our show.
Hey, that's
we need you to call your local radio station and tell them that we're there.
They need money.
They need money, and they don't have much to run on weekends anyway, so we're going to give them something entertaining. It's going to be a music show, of course, politically incorrect. We're also going to be nationally incorrect.
Here in Pogoville, you know, it's happening in Pogoville, USA, because whenever the surveyors come to Pogoville, the water moccasins and the alligators run them off, so they put a little dot right over there on the state line between Louisiana and Texas, and they said that's Pogoville. Now, you'll find it on your map if you want to. Don't say Pogoville, but they just put a little dot right there. We don't pay taxes to nobody, and it's a good thing because we ain't got no money. Hey, is that the widow going by up there? Wait a minute.
I think
Boy,
it
she
could
walks
be.
so fast. I
It
think I'm
could
going to
be.
try to catch up with her. Hope I don't,
good idea,
hope I don't spill my drink.
Thank you, Lonesome Bob. Thank you. Thank you. Friends, this will help keep our entire broadcast project on the air because we hope we can make a little money on this for the project. So please support us if you will. It will be entertaining. We're going to play all kinds of neat music which is not available currently on Nashville-based radio. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. We certainly want to extend an invitation to a lot of you who want to be on our show that have recordings or in the music business. Be very pleased pleased to talk to you. Anyway, August 2nd, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's going to be on every Saturday. So this is going to be something that we think, again, will help our project. Remember, audio is 7.56 on satellite, free to radio stations everywhere. Please support us on this, friends. It'll make our entire project stronger.
Yes, this 1919 Browning is a lot of fun, but yeah, it goes through ammunition pretty fast. And somebody was asking me the other day, well tell me, when you links, you know, the way these things work, this is called a disintegrating link belt here, belt of ammunition. And the links, of course, come out over here, the empty holes come out in the bottom, but it's very simple. The links are reusable about indefinitely. In fact, I'm going to show you how in just a second how to put a belt of ammunition together. You can sit around the television. It's almost like crocheting or something, friends. I never crocheted, but my grandmother used to, and you can just put those shells in there, and pretty soon you've got a belt of ammunition. But the good folks at NWI are manufacturing a machine that literally will put the ammunition in the belt for you. You put the links in, you put the shells in, and you turn the handle, and you get a belt of ammunition out. So this is a tremendous idea, one that can save you a lot of time in certainly preparing to go shoot. They're also making one for the 50 caliber Browning that they're starting to sell now. It's already in manufacture. They are selling them. So that is a tremendous offering to have a machine that will put the ammunition in the links for you. But briefly, let me show you how that works. Now, friends, you have, of course, your links here. You'll press a cartridge into it. Then you take another link and just do it like this. Put another cartridge and just push them in as far as they'll go. That's what you do. Take another link and like so, press them into place. Another link. See, it goes together very simply. And before you know it, you have an ammo belt. Isn't that neat? Now, friends, talk about your pure afternoon shooting fun, huh? See if we can get one of those others. Just for fun, since we're here. Like I said, you need one of those link machines because the ammunition does go quickly.
Now, friends, we have a couple of real experts here. On your left is Bill Wilson, on your right, Ken Hackathorn, and we're going to watch a couple of minutes out of a great tape that is available through Wilson Combat. This is a low-light shooting and flashlight technique tape. It's entitled Nightmaster, and it is really terrific. Wilson Combat has a wide selection of instructional tapes besides their complete line of products. For a Wilson Combat catalog, give them a call, 1-800-955-4856. The catalog, which is one of the nicest catalogs we've ever seen in this industry, is only $5, and you'll have that $5 discounted from your first order. Also, the International Defensive Pistol Association is a very exciting development. I think this is going to do for action shooting what the Cowboy Action game did for the single action revolver. So if you'd like to get involved in this or find out about it, you can call area 870-545-3886 or email idpa.org@yournet.com. Also, the very first annual IDPA Championship is going to be held August 29th through 31 at the United Sportsman's Range in Jefferson, Missouri. This is exciting stuff. Well, let's look at a little bit of this great tape.
The information you're about to see is being presented by two of the most skilled and respected names in the self-defense shooting industry, Ken Hackathorn and Bill Wilson. Hackathorn is one of the world's foremost authorities on the subject of the tactical deployment of small arms. He has trained U.S. military special forces, FBI and police, and anti-terrorist units. He's been involved in the tactical application of firearms for more than 25 years. Bill Wilson is the president and founder of Wilson Combat, manufacturers of high-quality custom gun parts, accessories, and complete custom guns for self-defense and competition. While his background started as a competition shooter in 1974, Wilson has devoted the past 6 years to the development and application of self-defense handguns. This program will give you cutting-edge knowledge on the tactical use of flashlights and handguns so that you can master the night. Now, here's Ken Hackathorn and Bill Wilson with the first segment of Night Masters.
Okay, what we're going to talk about now is the use of the flashlight. Remember, one of the subjects that a lot of people don't really address once they procure a sidearm for either home defense or for their own use is the fact that a flashlight, in my mind, is integral with carrying a gun. And I'll tell you why. Certainly, if you look at it statistically, the times that you're most likely going to need a firearm to defend yourself is going to be during the hours of low or limited light. And one of the key issues about a flashlight, folks, is the reason we use it is not to assist our shooting, is to identify our target. Now you say, well, I don't need a flashlight except at night. What happens when you leave home in the morning and you don't come back until late in the evening and your flashlight you left at home because you think I'm going to be out in the daytime? Or what happens when you have to, during the daytime, you have to go into a darkened building, into a basement, into an attic, into a warehouse, or someplace that you might find yourself where suddenly there is no natural light or no artificial light. For that reason, I think a flashlight that you can have accessible to you or on your person has a lot going for it. Of course, the drawback is that to pick a flashlight you can carry with you 8 or 10 hours a day often ends up being much too big and much too cumbersome. So we're going to talk about the ones that Bill and I both like, and we'll also talk about the techniques. I firmly believe that if you keep a firearm in your home for self-defense, wherever that firearm is placed, there should be a flashlight right beside it. Because you wake up in the middle of the night because your wife tells you she heard something in the house, or you hear a crash bang, something goes bump at dark 30, you pick up your pistol, you pick up your flashlight. They go together.
Now, friends, for all the Wilson Combat tapes, certainly they're a great product lineup. Again, call them 1-800-955-4856, and please, please tell them that you saw it here on our shooting show. Friends, we hope you've enjoyed today's program. We want to mention one of our good folks in the Shooting Show support group, and this, of course, is Custom Leather Work in Saddlery in Denham Springs, Louisiana. They do all kinds of leather work. Also, they repair items that are more difficult, like lineman's boots, things like that. You can call them area 504-667-9225. Again, thanks so much for watching our program today, and we'll see you on the next